That's why you always feel that sudden sting of guilt afterward. When the room goes quiet, your child stops speaking, and you realize the words already left your mouth. And by then, you can't pull them back. Because a child may forget what you bought for them, but they never forget what you said to them in anger. 1. You're useless or you're stupid. These words often come out in a moment of frustration. Maybe the homework wasn't done, maybe the mess was repeated again, maybe you were already tired from a long day and your patience was gone. But here's what happens inside a child when they hear this. They don't process it as mom is angry or dad is stressed. They process it as I am not enough. A child's brain is still forming its sense of identity, so when a parent labels them negatively, the brain doesn't separate the emotion from the identity. It absorbs it, and over time, this becomes an inner voice. You may say it once in anger, but they might repeat it to themselves for years. I'm stupid. I always get things wrong. I can't do anything right. And slowly, confidence starts to disappear in places you never expected. Not because the child lacks ability, but because the child starts believing they are the problem. A more powerful shift is to describe the behavior, not the child. Instead of attacking identity, you can say, this behavior is not okay, and I know you can do better. That small shift protects their self-worth while still guiding them. 2. I wish you were never born. This is one of the most emotionally damaging things a child can ever hear. And often it comes out in moments of overwhelm, when emotions are too heavy and control is lost. But for a child, this sentence doesn't stay in the moment. It becomes a memory that echoes in silence. Children naturally believe they are the center of their parents' world. So when a parent says something like this, the child doesn't hear anger. They hear rejection at the deepest level. It creates confusion. Am I not wanted? Was I a mistake? Do I even belong here? This kind of emotional wound doesn't always show immediately. Sometimes it shows years later as anxiety, emotional withdrawal, or fear of abandonment. And the painful part is that many parents never meant it. They were just overwhelmed. But children don't measure intent. They only feel impact. In those moments, the most powerful thing you can do is pause and step away before words become permanent scars. 3. Why can't you be like your brother, sister, or someone else? Comparison may seem harmless on the surface. Sometimes it even feels motivating to adults. But for a child, comparison feels like replacement. It sends a quiet message. You, as you are not enough. And that creates a silent competition they can never win. Because no matter what they do, someone else will always be better in that moment. Psychologically, comparison damages identity development. Instead of building their own strengths, the child starts chasing approval. They may become perfectionists, people pleasers, or emotionally withdrawn, just to avoid being compared again. And sometimes, it also creates resentment between siblings, where love should exist. A child doesn't need to be someone else. They need to be seen for who they are becoming. A healthier shift is, I see your effort. Let's work on this together. That turns pressure into guidance, and most importantly, to love with intention. Your child doesn't need a perfect mother. They need a present one, a learning one, a loving one. If this message spoke to you in any way, take a moment to like this video, share it with another mother who might need this reminder, and subscribe to the channel so we can continue growing together. Because this journey of parenting, it's not meant to be walked alone. And remember this, small changes in your habits today can create a lifetime of confidence, love, and strength in your child tomorrow. Stay gentle with yourself, stay aware, and keep showing up. You're doing more than you think. 4. You always do this, or you never listen. These phrases sound like exaggerations, but to a child, they feel like a permanent label. The problem with words like always and never is that they remove hope for change. If a child hears you always make mistakes, they stop thinking I made a mistake today and start thinking I am a mistake maker. That difference is huge. Because once behavior becomes identity in their mind, change feels impossible. They may even stop trying to improve because no matter what they do, the label stays. And over time, this can create rebellious behavior or emotional shutdown. A child needs to feel that mistakes are temporary, not permanent identities. Instead of you never listen, a more helpful approach is, right now, I feel like I'm not being heard, and I need your attention. It keeps the focus on the moment, not the personality. 5. Stop crying, or you're too sensitive. When a child is emotional, crying is not manipulation, it is communication. But when a parent shuts that down, the child learns something very dangerous. I am not safe to express my feelings. And so they begin to hide emotions instead of processing them. On the outside, they may look strong or quiet, but on the inside, emotions start building without release. Later in life, this can show up as emotional numbness, difficulty in relationships, or even sudden emotional outbursts that seem out of nowhere. Because emotions don't disappear when ignored. They just get stored. A child doesn't need their emotions corrected in that moment. They need them acknowledged. Even something as simple as, "I see you're upset, I'm here with you." That teaches emotional safety. And children who feel safe with their emotions grow into adults who can manage them better. 6. I don't love you anymore, or I will leave you. Even if said in anger or frustration, this is one of the most destabilizing statements for a child. Because love is not just emotional security for a child, it is survival. So when love is threatened, even temporarily, the child's brain goes into fear mode. They don't think logically, they think, "I am going to lose my parent." This creates deep insecurity that can affect future relationships. They may become clingy, overly anxious in relationships, or afraid of rejection. Some children may even start behaving perfectly just to prevent abandonment, losing their natural personality in the process. And all of this comes from a sentence that was never meant literally. But to a child, emotional safety is everything. Instead of threats, what they need is reassurance paired with correction. "I am upset with this behavior, but I love you and we will fix it together." That separates behavior from identity and preserves security. And when a child feels secure, they are far more likely to listen, learn, and grow. Because discipline without emotional safety creates fear. But discipline with love creates understanding. And now, as you hear all of this, you might start thinking about moments you wish you could take back. But this is not about guilt. It is about awareness. Every parent loses control sometimes. Every parent has moments they regret. What matters most is what happens next. Repair is more powerful than perfection. When you go back to your child and say, "I was wrong to speak like that," you are not losing authority. You are teaching accountability. And that becomes one of the greatest lessons a child will ever learn. Because they don't need a perfect parent. They need a present one. A parent who is willing to grow, reflect, and try again. And if this message made you pause, even for a moment, let it be the beginning of something better, not something heavy. Because small changes in how we speak can completely change the emotional world of a child. If this resonated with you, take a moment to like the video, not for the algorithm, but to support content that brings awareness like this to more parents who may need it. Share it with someone who is raising a child right now, someone who might just need a gentle reminder that words shape worlds. And subscribe for more meaningful conversations like this, where we don't just talk about parenting, but about the hearts behind it. Because at the end of the day, your child will not remember every mistake you made, but they will remember how you made them feel. And that feeling becomes the voice they carry into their own life.